How many of you have felt like you're a failure or you failed and you thought that situation, that thing, those circumstances, you felt like it broke you? Well, in this video today, I'm going to show you how to turn those past failures into success. But that failure, if you're just able to zoom out and look at it from the outside in, you'll see that those situations, those circumstances, those issues can become the foundation in which you build a new, better, updated version of yourself. Now, if you're sitting in some chaos or some things that you thought would work out, but it didn't, I want you to hear me clearly. That moment doesn't define you, and it's not the end. It's just a catalyst. And if you're just able to realize it was a setup for your comeback, you can use that to fuel your success. Welcome to the channel. And if you're new here, I'm Prince Williams. And around here, we just don't survive setbacks. I teach you how to master your mindset, which allows you to grow through it to get through it. I teach high performance living through emotional mastery, resilience, and most importantly, purpose and being intentional. And today, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to transform some of your lowest moments into a strategy that will elevate your life, hopefully your business, and your relationships. You ready? Let's go. Your job, your title, your relationships, your reputation, those are roles. They are not your identity. Who you are was never in question. But I felt like this at one point. My identity was shaken after my career was taking some time to move forward. I had put in all this effort and this time. And even during the process, I had turned down opportunities that could have possibly been a better fit for me. But I was so headstrong and wanted to stay the course in what I was doing that I turned those opportunities down. But at the same time, I had to still support myself and a family, and I had a family to take care of. But as a byproduct of me feeling like I'm betting on myself and staying the course, I was now faced with divorce and at some point some custody issues, and my family started to fall apart. So naturally, I felt like I was a failure. This was happening, and this was in my reality. I felt like I was a failure, not only personally, but publicly, because I was a ball of emotions, and here I am, I'm trying to figure it out with probably no immediate answers. I would love to say that it all turned out in my favor. It did not. But the lessons I learned along the way, it helped support me moving forward, where I can really define who I am at my core, what I want, what my purpose is, and how to never let that happen again. See, I had to continue to learn the lessons of letting go of what was, and also learn how to sit in the unknown. Because the answer is bigger than just me. It's about rebuilding self-worth without external validation. Because if you don't grasp that concept, your lack of self-discipline and emotional mastery will spill over into every aspect of your life. Because I remember the days when I thought I lost everything. I remember the days when what I built, I felt like whatever I built was gone. And everything that I believed was tested. But now looking back, that moment didn't destroy me. What it did was it helped rebuild me. So how do you move forward when everything looks like complete chaos? Well, you reframe the story. So instead of saying that you failed or you think that you're a failure, I want you to ask yourself, what did this moment teach me? Think of it like this. Experience is your best teacher. So experience is your teacher. Without the experience, there would be no reference point in which to build on. Meaning, since you don't know what you don't know, you need reference points in which to build your mental framework. A faulty framework or mindset means you have a faulty building block or you have a shaky foundation. But what if you can just take the lesson? Failure is feedback. It's not the end of the story. It's the start of your growth. So you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I get it, because you're tired of giving it your all and you still feel like you're not enough. And it feels like you always have to be the strong one. It seems like yet you still have to suffer in silence because no one understands you and you're carrying the weight of the world and no one really knows who you are. But you're trying to fit into spaces that aren't designed for you, and it brings on more shame and more failure because you can't live up to the standards that you placed on yourself, especially when everyone expects you to be the one that's always winning. This emotional exhaustion from always having to be on will have any one person crumble under the weight of carrying the world. But let me assure you, you're not alone and you're not a failure. You aren't meant to carry that load because you will get crushed under the weight of that kind of pressure. Okay, so your perception of failure is only data. So perception of failure. In that data, it holds the insight, the clarity, and your continuous patterns that is really going to be the signal for you to get real with yourself, for you to go within and for you to do some self-reflecting on where you're giving your power away. It's an opportunity for you to think about what systems are broken down, where you are out of alignment, and what belief has drove you to those decisions. When you can extract the data, that's when you can transform the emotion. And what you're going to do is you're going to transform that emotion into elevation. It's in this reflection, when you ask the questions, that you're able to find clarity. And this is how you take your power back. All right, so you've done everything, but you still feel stuck. You've done the self-help, you've done the personal development, and nothing seems like it's working. Well, let me tell you, it's not about doing more. It's about being intentional about your growth and deciding that you want to make some changes that's going to last for the duration. And you can't necessarily think yourself out of an emotional pattern. You have to feel your way through them. Now, is this uncomfortable at first? Of course it is. But until you reframe it and you choose how you approach it, your life is going to be bound to lessons on repeat. And those lessons are where you make mistakes and they keep presenting themselves even though you think you have a new mindset. I get it. We all hit those plateaus. Despite reading the books, despite going to therapy, despite meditating and doing all the growth changing habits that they tell us work. Well, they all work. But if I can leave you with this one thing that makes it all go. So what makes it go, if I can make it plain, is most failures isn't random. It's the repetition. So you can't face what you're not willing to change. So the things that you don't want to address are the very things that keep showing up in your life until you deal with the shadow, until you deal with the dark side. And you're going to continue to attract the very things that you're running from. We don't attract what we want. We attract who we are until we make that shift. So what keeps coming and showing up in your life in different disguises? Is it the same relationship patterns? Is it the fear? Is it the anxiousness? Or is it that overwhelming need to show and prove? When you own the pattern, that's when you interrupt the cycle. When you interrupt the cycle, that's when you reclaim your power, which is going to impact your future self and your present self. Okay, so you look successful, but you feel broken. I get it. It's not about pretending that everything is okay, because it's not. It's about turning those broken pieces into power. But here's the real truth. You were never broken. That's the psychological trip. It's the program. But as you begin to teach yourself to sit through the discomfort and the internal chaos, that's when it starts to polish your exterior, because you're training your nervous system on how to be resilient. This isn't about repression or suppression, because that will be acting. I want you to feel through it. I want you to feel it deeply, but not let it rule you or conquer you, because I want you to be able to transmute that into something that's going to benefit you. There is going to be that longing or ache at times because you're not seen for your emotional truth. That's normal. But you need to stop seeking external validation, because you don't need anything or anyone to approve of what you want to be or who you are. You need to be completely unapologetic about what you want and who you want to be. So use this as motivation to reclaim your own narrative. Someone once said that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your capacity, what your nervous system is allowing you to experience. See, your bounce back needs structure. It needs discipline. It needs focus. And most importantly, it needs your intention. I want you to win the day, win the week, keep stacking the months, and over time, you're going to build unshakable habits. And I promise you, you'll never let yourself down again. It's one lesson at a time, one decision at a time. But make decisions today that is going to continue to help you rebuild and grow. I know you're scared. I know you're scared that the bounce back won't happen this time. But use it as leverage. Let it refine you and not define you. Listen, failure is not your identity. It's your initiation. It's where real power is born. It's where warriors are forged. So if you're ready to build your life from a deeper level of power and purpose, do me a favor. Subscribe, like that video, and drop a comment below and say, I'm turning my pain into power. Again, my name is Prince Williams, the real Prince Williams, and I'll see you next time.